Hello everyone, I am Javeria Tabassum and I am here to bring out the authenticity and awareness on a very important subject, and that is rights, more precisely women's rights. We live in a country where a woman is attained a very high regard. We often see a woman is worshipped as goddess. Yet we in everyday life get to hear many atrocities, harassment, and exploitation and various issues of women going unheard. Often women are denied justice, and most of the times women don't even report the issues they are facing. There might be various reasons. It might be because of social stigma or some other reason, but the very important reason is lack of awareness. Whenever a woman's rights are violated, she does not even know that her rights are violated, because she doesn't know that there are some rights which are bestowed by Indian Constitution upon her, and which, when in case she feels threatened that her rights are being violated or there is a danger to her rights, she can approach for a legal aid. This is something every woman has to be well versed and aware of. So in this video, we'll discuss 3 very important rights which have relevance in the current times. So, getting started, the first is right against domestic violence. Don't we get to often in newspapers or news channels get to hear or see that many women are suffering domestic violence? The woman, a married woman, is being harassed, maybe for dowry or maybe for some other reasons. She is being abused or harassed by her husband's family, or her husband's relatives. So what exactly is domestic violence? Domestic violence is abusing a woman physically, emotionally, sexually, economically and psychologically in a way to threaten her or to force her to do something, or to demand a dowry on her, and many other domestic issues. This is called domestic violence, and this is something of a right of a woman which is being violated, because every woman in India under the shade of Constitution has the right against domestic violence. She has the right to live with dignity and liberty. One cannot just tamper her rights in any way. So there is a very important section for protecting women against domestic violence, and that is the section 498A and section 304B under the Indian Penal Code of Indian Constitution. So what this section does is, whenever a woman is suffering domestic violence, she can directly go to the magistrate or to a domestic violence protection officer, who on behalf of her will submit a complaint to the magistrate, application to the magistrate, and then a legal action will be taken against her husband, her in-laws, or the relatives of his husband, or whoever she has a threat of domestic violence. This comes under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, and under this there's also before that there came a very important act, and that is the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. This protects women from dowry harassment. So both come under domestic violence, and the same section 498A and 304B is applicable. So the domestic violence or the dowry harassment, it violates the human rights of a woman. Those rights are, the first is the right to life, then the right to respect for family and private life. The other is the right not to be tortured or treated in a degrading way. The other is right not to be discriminated against. These are the rights that are being violated when someone commits domestic violence against a woman. There are and coming to the dowry harassment, which also falls under domestic violence, because most of the domestic violence cases we see these days are because of dowry, mostly because of dowry, demanding for a dowry before marriage, at the time of marriage, or even after some years of marriage. It can be mentally, emotionally, and psychologically very disturbing, and it affects the overall growth and development of a woman. So it's very important for a woman to raise voice against domestic violence and dowry harassment. There are these sections under IPC, the section 3 and section 4. Section 3 for taking dowry, for giving the dowry, and section 4 is for the one who demands the dowry. So whenever the person is found guilty of taking or demanding dowry from a bride's family, from a woman's family, the punishment will be he or the family, the one demanding the dowry, will be jailed, will be imprisoned for a period of starting from 6 months, and it may also extend to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, along with a fine of nearly 10,000 rupees. Also, it's a non-bailable offence, so a woman can always feel safe from domestic violence when charging her husband or in-laws or relatives with the following sections. So these 4 sections are very important, especially the 498A. So the sections are section 3, section 4, section 498A, section 304B. These are something every woman needs to be well versed with. And there's a board called National Human Rights Commission. When one's rights are threatened or violated, one can always approach the NHRC through an online complaint or even physically. When the NHRC team receives the complaint, the woman will be contacted and guided towards justice. The second thing we're talking about is the right to register virtual complaints. There might be some situations where a woman, in spite of knowing that her rights are being violated, or in times of need, or in times of some issue, some trouble, she may not be always able to go to the police station or to the concerned authority to file a complaint. So at such times, a woman can always file a complaint virtually, which means online, or through a registered post. So what a woman has to do is write a letter, complaint letter, addressing a police officer of senior level, maybe the commissioner of police, addressing the letter to the commissioner of police, and giving a description of her complaint and sending it through email or through a registered post, through the post. So when the police team receives her complaint, a constable or an officer will be sent to her residence to record the official statement and take her complaint. So this is another provision granted by the Supreme Court to every woman whenever she is physically not able to go to the police station to file a complaint. The third very important right is right against being stalked. So we often get to see our sisters, female friends, daughters, mothers, women, neighbors. We often get to hear from them that there has been someone following them in public places, and they felt intimidated by them. So this is when a man follows woman repeatedly and tries to get personal interaction with her, even when the woman has clearly showed her disinterest towards it. That is called stalking. The other type of stalking is cyber stalking, which means a man continuously follows or monitors the activity of a woman on the internet through email, through Facebook or other online platforms. That is cyber stalking, which is regarded as a crime. Stalking a woman either physically or virtually on the internet is regarded as a crime. So this can be reported. There is a severe punishment if found guilty with stalking. So the Indian Penal Code section 354D Section 354D of the Indian Constitution provides a right against being stalked. So whenever a woman feels she's being stalked by someone anonymous repeatedly, and it's causing some kind of intimidation, some kind of fear, insecurity and concern for her safety, then she can approach a police station or a security authority and file a complaint against the person. So once the person is found guilty of stalking, he will be charged with legal action, and that is imprisonment up to 3 years, also with a fine, and the imprisonment can also extend to 5 years. So the minimum jailing punishment will be from 3 to 5 years, also along with a lump sum amount of fine to be paid. So this is a very important provision granted by the Indian Constitution and Supreme Court to ensure the safety of a woman at public places. Also, there are some special teams called the she teams who often get admixed with the common civilians, monitoring whenever a complaint reaches them of stalking or eve teasing, public harassment and such issues. The she team members dissolve themselves among the civilians and keep a close eye on the stalkers. So one can contact the she teams or the police station, the concerned authorities. And also when a woman is being stalked, the rights like right to privacy, right to life and liberty of a woman, also the right to live with dignity are being violated. So when the rights are violated, there's always a body that safeguards rights of all citizens, the National Human Rights Commission. So NHRC also can be approached for an action, and they will guide us towards justice. So this is something very important every woman has to know. These 3 rights: right against domestic violence, right to register virtual complaints, and right against stalking. Thank you. So that is about today's topic, the 3 important rights of a woman. So yes, one should always be aware of their rights, and since the pandemic is second wave is going on and third is about to rise, let's all take necessary precautions, help each other and stay home and stay safe. One thing I would want to say regarding the awareness of one's rights is, especially for women, is a known woman is never a lone woman. So once a woman knows what her rights are, she's never alone. Then she doesn't have to depend on someone, or she doesn't have to fear in the first place. When she knows what the things are and what needs to be done, she can directly approach the authority and get her things done. So a known woman is never a lone woman. So let's all try to become known women so that we don't have to become lone women. Thank you.